Hi friends, hope you're doing well. This is Tamur. Welcome to my channel, The Cloud Security Guy, in which I talk on a weekly basis about things like cloud security, artificial intelligence, and general cybersecurity career advice. If you watch my previous video, you can see my voice is a bit better. But thank you. If you're new to this channel, please do like and subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in things pertaining to AI, cloud security, and I try to upload videos on a weekly basis. I'm going to try and upload more regular videos because I have been slacking off a little bit this year. But I wanted to talk about something very important, guys, this time, which is, cloud security attack trends, which is basically what are the type of trends which are happening with regards to cloud security and how cyber attackers are basically targeting cloud environments. And one of the best ways to find that out is to look at the recent security reports. And the one which I really always like is the Crowdstrike 2023 Global Threat Report. I'm not a I'm not promoting any vendor, any company, any product. But the thing about these companies are, and there are many other companies also, what they do is they have access to threat intelligence. They have access to millions and millions of incidents which are happening across the world. And they can show you in a summarized way what are the trends which are happening. If you are in cybersecurity, if you are in cloud security, it's very, very important to look at these reports and analyze them, find out what are the trends which are happening, which is why I always recommend to everyone. Guys, I'm not going to read through the report, but I do want to go through a few very important points which I saw, which are quite relevant. And I thought, especially if you're in cybersecurity or in cloud security, one thing I do want to mention is go through this report, look at the threat landscape which is happening. So, like I said, I'm not going to go through the full report, but I do wanted to mention something very from the threat landscape overview. Something which is very important. One is one trend which CrowdStrike noted, which I found very interesting, is malware-free attacks. Now attackers are not stupid, right? They know that companies are investing billions and billions of dollars into anti-malware AI-based products, machine learning products, which are able to detect malware. And what is happening is they are getting valid credentials, stolen credentials, and they are able to get access to environments, and they are not using it through malware. So this is actually interactive attacks, and not through malware which can be detected. So now we are seeing like around 71% of the attacks which they saw, that was malware free activity. This is very important. So apart from the malware analysis, I hope within your companies you're also doing red teaming. You are actually simulating what sort of attacks, breach and attack simulations, uh, going through an attack kill chain and seeing what attackers techniques they use, how to laterally move and everything. Those things should also be there. Don't just rely on the latest anti-malware solution, the latest shiny new product. I'm sure you've invested millions and millions of dollars into it. But just to let you know, cyber criminals are also aware of this, and they are moving away from malware-free to like a malware-free type of attacks. And these are the themes which is. But one thing I wanted to which is actually pertaining to me. This is from the cloud security, which is very important. Cloud conscious techniques, attacks, and procedures. What does that mean? Attackers are now fully focusing on the cloud. So the attacks which used to happen like ransomware, that was on-prem and the cloud, but now they are fully moving towards the cloud, and they're moving towards cloud account discoveries. They're using privilege accounts, and they saw that they are tampering with the logs, and they are focusing on specific cloud technologies. So this is very interesting, as you can see there. As you can see here, these are all the types of attacks which they're doing. Getting initial access through your cloud-facing servers, your instance metadatabases, IMDSs. If you've worked in AWS or Azure, I'm sure you'll be familiar with this. So they are actually getting valid cloud credentials, and they're persisting within that environment through web shells, reverse shells on the compromised machines. Okay, and they're focusing on cloud accounts for privilege escalations, buckets, your source code repositories. Okay, they're using things like RDP, SSH, things which are there on-prem, but they are using things like, from the AWS perspective, EC2 Instance Connect, Session Manager. And you can see I'm not going to go through each of them, but this is very, very interesting how cloud specific attacks are now going up rapidly. Okay. And resource hijacking is there. And one thing which is very dangerous, now you can see that attackers, they are actually destroying, they're not just exfiltrating data out, they're actually destroying accounts, destroying services, terminating them, destroying data and deleting services. So this is very, very important, which is CrowdStrike has made this very, very clear that as companies are moving towards the cloud, attackers are also now heavily moving towards the cloud. Okay, and they're rapidly upskilling their attacks. If you're on cloud security, this is very, very important to focus on. So this is something I want, especially since I'm in cloud security, and I wanted to mention this. And one thing which is quite interesting, which is of course vulnerability intelligence. And the things is old patches, old exploits like log4j. It's still very much there. Quite surprising. Like you can still use things like the older attacks which are there, like log4j, and they are aware. If you patch one thing, they are very much aware that the older things are not patched. So they are targeting things like your VMware or Cisco with the same vulnerabilities. So this is very, very important, guys. Patching is unfortunately not as something as sexy as anti-malware, red teaming, pen testing, machine learning, but this is the way how most organizations still get compromised. So patching, if you're not doing it, your vulnerability discovery, rediscovery, log4j is still being exploited. Despite something being 2021, at the end of 2021 it came. It ruined a lot of people's Christmas holidays, I know, your December holidays, but very much this is actively being exploited. So your old vulnerability management, finding vulnerabilities, looking at them and patching them, tracking them to closure. As you can see, they are still using the old patches. People keep thinking that attackers are only using new ways. No, the old ways are very much there. CVEs which are very much present, but what they're doing is they're targeting, if you patch one server, they're moving to the other server. And especially with your legacy applications, which are not able to support, you're not able to patch, they are very much aware of this. So these are the three things I wanted to highlight: malware-free attacks, your cloud-conscious attacks specific to the cloud, and your old vulnerability management. Even in 2023, patching is still a nightmare. It is a big challenge for most companies, and patching is very much something which attackers are aware of as a weak spot, and they are focusing on it more and more. So this is a very interesting report. I would recommend you go through it. I always go through these reports whenever they come out to see the trends which are happening, because these companies are simply, they have access to threat intelligence which we don't have. Okay, so I hope this was useful to you guys. If you're interested in more things like this, I'll link the report also in the comment section so you can take a look. I hope this was useful. If you found it, please do subscribe to this channel, like this video and comment on it. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.